Warriors, come out and play. Boom, 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 I bomb atomically. Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses can't define how I be dropping these mockeries. Lyrically perform armed robbery, flee with the lottery. Possibly they spotted me. Yeah, I love hip hop, guys. I'm just taking you a little hip hop journey here through the halls of hip hop. Did you know that hip hop was created in the Bronx, New York City? And it was created not just music, which is, you know, the emceeing and the DJing, which came together, but also graffiti. So it's a really cool medium of art to take your mind on a journey into the halls of hip hop culture, right? Later it was called rap music, but it's hip hop, right? So my favorite hip hop artists are Wu-Tang Clan, of course. You know, I was born in '83, so I'm a '90s kid. You know, so it's funny because like in middle school, you were either a rapper or a headbanger or a nerd or a cheerleader or whatever you were, right? My first girlfriend was actually a cheerleader. I guess I'm bragging a little bit. My first girlfriend was a cheerleader. My first kiss, actually, yeah, she was my first girlfriend. That was 3rd grade or 5th grade, whatever. You know, but in middle school, I was a headbanger, and I was a rocker, and I was part of the Freaks and all that. So you couldn't like rap music back then. That's just how it was. Okay, you either liked rock or rap. There was no mixing, right? And I was, not to sound conceited or anything, but it's just true. Like I was one of the first, I was kind of a leader in the, oh, I didn't realize where I stopped. That's kind of weird. A leader in the rocker kind of movement. And like, you know, I was the first to rock a chain wallet, and then I changed the chain into a phone cord, and then people started doing that, right? And I was the first one to wear patent leather Airwalks, you know? Everybody was already wearing Converse, but I started the Airwalks, you know, the patent leather ones. I had the black ones at first, then people started rocking those. Then I rocked the ruby red ones. That was a little much for people. That didn't really catch on, you know? But, so I remember there was this girl, Tiffany, and she was like part of the rap crew, you know? And there was a lot of like rapper crew people in my middle school. And I remember being friends with her and like her showing me some rap music that I liked. And the first rap group, I think technically the first rap group I liked was the Fugees because of Lauryn Hill and her voice. And I had loved female vocalists even back then, like always. You know, first female vocalist probably my mom, right? Singing to me in the womb. You know, I don't know if she did, but maybe. So, you know, there's something about female vocalists that's just like, that's my thing, you know? For me, I think it's like a mother wound for me because I didn't grow up with my mom. When I was 2, I got taken away from her. And that's weird. So, man, that's some cool graffiti art here. Yeah. Right, so I didn't grow up with her, so I feel like I have this kind of mother wound, and when I hear female vocalists and female voices, it's like, it brings me back to like being a child and being safe. And I think that's part of the reason I like to listen to that. So anyway, talking to this girl, Tiffany, and you know, she shows me the Fugees, and I'm like, yo, this is good. But mainly I liked the female vocalists. Okay, so the second rap group I liked, actually the first rap group I ever liked and the first rap song was Busta Rhymes. What was the name of that song, guys? Yeah, it was Got You All in Check by Busta Rhymes, right? Y'all, 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 y'all. Yo, 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 yo. Oh, when I step up in the place, then yo, I step correct. Woo-ha! Got you all in check. I got that head notch that make you break your neck. Woo-ha! Got you all in check. And you know we come through to wreck the discotheque. Woo-ha! Got you all in check. Busta Rhymes, you know. Busta Rhymes, I'm in the place I truly need. I'm guaranteed I get your word on, you know. Dude, it was so unique and so cool that I was just like, how could I not like this? This is so awesome, right? It was so off the wall and wild. So yeah, that was the first rap song I ever liked. And then I started listening to rap music. And it was wild because they were like, you're not allowed to rap, you know, you like Nirvana and Pearl Jam and, you know, we're obsessed with Kurt Cobain. And it's like, and I was, you know. But it was like, yo, rap music is good too. And rap music is such a cool medium of art where people speak their mind, you know, and it starts off with this people from New York City and the African-American community, obviously, right? The black communities who created this art form. And they were speaking about, the artists were speaking about what they were going through. You know what I'm saying? Broken glass everywhere, people peeing on the street, you know, they just don't care. You know, and then like the funny rap jams, you know, and like, yes, yes, y'all, and you know, so, you know, then white people started to like it, you know what I'm saying? Like right away. I mean, you had the Beastie Boys, which were one of the first rap groups. They actually started as a hardcore group from Brooklyn, right? My mom to this day tells me that, you know, Mark, white kids started rap music. I said, what? Yeah, the Beastie Boys started rap, Mark. It was white people. I'm like, no, Mom, you're wrong, but okay, whatever. I'm not gonna correct you, you know? But she's kind of right that they were one of the, you know, first rappers. And also, I was in school and this guy, because I was in music school, I was in a music history class, and my teacher told me that white people started rap, and it was actually Debbie Harry who was the first rapper. And I Googled that the other day. I knew it wasn't true back then. I'm like, that can't be true. But yes, she did rap on the song Rapture, which is, I always thought it was really cheesy, but listening to it again, it's actually pretty cool, you know. 5-5 Freddy told me, DJ's spinning, I said, my. And you go out and you go to the bar, and, you know, and in comes the man from Mars. And he goes out not eating cars. He's Cadillacs and Subarus, baby boo, and doobie doo doo. You know what I'm saying? But the elements are simple. I mean, it was hip hop, and some early hip hop was cheesy like that anyway. So God bless Debbie Harry, you know what I mean? She rocked it. But dude, her vocal part in that song, Rapture, my gosh, it's so cool. Recently, as a Rapture watcher, I was listening to the words of that, and it's pretty interesting. I might do a video on it. Sorry, went off on that one. Yeah, and it's so dope that KRS-One did it in his song "Step into the World," right? And he had a girl on there, "Step into the world where hip hop is free, where MCs and DJs build up their skills as they play every day for the rapture." Such a good song. I saw KRS-One recently. It was so dope. One of the best shows I've ever seen. His energy is so good. Yes, yes, y'all, you don't stop. KRS-One, rock on. Yes, yes, y'all, you don't stop. KRS-One, rock on. I'm about to hit you with some traditional style of cold rocking, right? Head knocking, non-stopping. So we bring back the raw hip hopping. Dude, hip hop is so sick. You know, I started writing rap music. I used to rap. I used to freestyle, actually. I used to DJ and freestyle. My buddy Matt, who was always into rap music, we became friends when I was in middle school, I think. He was rocking a DMX shirt, and he was walking on my bus, and we both grew up in New Jersey. And I'm like, yo, this kid's cool, but like nobody liked him, so we became friends. But he was doing his thing. Like, he didn't get respect, but he was like rocking like awesome hip hop shirts every day. You know what I'm saying? And we became best friends. You know, pretty much all through high school. So yeah, KRS-One is a great old school rapper. He claims actually that hip hop was created in the Bronx, whereas Nas, another amazing rapper, claims that it was birthed in Queensbridge, you know, which is another borough in New York City. But a lot of times with things that are creative, once the idea is out there, sometimes it happens at random or different places around the world. It's a very interesting conception. They kind of talk about it with the, they call it like the collective collective conscience. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people's tags are getting put on display here, as well as their Instagram handles. So yeah, walking through the halls of hip hop. Yes, that's a pretty good one. I used to do graffiti also. My tag was Mouse. If you look at some old school graffiti forums, you might be actually able to see me. Circa Brooklyn, New York City, around 2006 to 2007. I remember my tag, Mouse. I used to, I had like the scribbly one like this, and I had like 3 dots on the bottom. And then I had like the big block letter ones like this, or the bubble letter ones. You know what I'm saying? And I got taught graffiti in college with a friend who I met who wrote graffiti. And he taught me how to write. And then I just kind of developed it and practiced it and got my tag like pretty good. You know what I'm saying? And I also got taught how to breakdance in high school by these Filipino kids. They used to breakdance in the hallway. And this is kind of the cool thing about growing up in New Jersey, right next to New York City. All the New York kids used to come and they would bring like all this culture with them, music, slang. And it's funny, I used to always say like in New Jersey, we would be speaking slang that the New Yorkers probably brought over. But by the time we started speaking it, New York was already ahead of us, right? So in the Bronx, in Brooklyn, in Queens, whatever, their slang was already progressing beyond us, right? To this day, I still say word, which is a 90s slang term, which is actually short for word is bond, right? Like, and it means actually my word is my bond. Word is bond, son. And then they kind of shortened it to word. Got a little Hello Kitty there, that's dope. That's really cool, actually. Yeah, I like that. So, yeah, this is expression, guys. This is artistic expression, just like hip hop is. So, you had graffiti, you had breakdancing, all this stuff came with hip hop. It's funny, one of the things I was thinking about hip hop in a funny way is in hip hop, you can just claim all these things and nobody checks you on it, right? So the thing is, it's kind of about bragging and self-confidence, right? And wait, how do I get down that side? Oh my gosh, I think there's like a different door that brings me down a different side. That's so cool. With different graffiti, right? But if you listen to like, House of Pain, who's like, I got more rhymes than the Bible's got Psalms. It's like, no, do you though? Like, you probably don't, right? No, especially not House of Pain. You know what I'm saying? So like, but nobody checks you on it. So you can say whatever you want, right? Just like Old Dirty Bastard, who later changed his name to Sweet Baby Jesus. Just a little bit blasphemous maybe. He says, a son, I keep planets in orbit. It's like, no, you don't. That's God, right? You're claiming godhood. But, that's how hip hop is. You can just speak your mind, and you're in this world where like you're the king, you're the man. So yeah, so those were my first rap groups, and then later, of course, I started listening to a lot of underground hip hop, like MF Doom, who used to hire people. He used to wear a metal face, right, a mask, and he used to hire people to sing at his shows. They would have fake dooms, and people would figure it out, and they'd be yelling, "Fake, he's not a doom, he's not doom." Like, that's pretty wild. He actually died recently. So I love MF Doom. His lyrics are super cool. He is super unique. He's got that song Doomsday, which I love because he has this girl singing a sample of a Sade song, right? What is the song? Kiss of Life by Sade, and he changes the lyrics, and it's like, when I was led to you, I knew you were the one for me. I swear the whole world could feel you, MC. You know what I mean? Because in her song, she says, I swear the whole world could feel my heartbeat. He's like, that song is so cool. He's like, yo, pass the mic like pass the piece like they used to say. Cut the crap far as rap. Touch the mic, get the same thing an Arab will do to you for stealing. What the devil? He's on another level. It's a word, no a name. It's MF, the super villain. You know what I mean? He talks in the third person. I think he was the first rapper to do that. You know? So he's dope. I could rap his entire, like, a lot of these rap songs are still in my brain. I could rap the entire thing. Like Wu-Tang, I could rap both their albums. Into the Chambers, 36 Chambers, and Wu-Tang Forever. For MF Doom, I could rap pretty much all of the songs also that I know. One of them was, ooh, you're like the sun, chasing all of the rain away. When you come around, you mean brighter days. She told me you're the perfect one for me, and you forever will be. I told her, I will rock this microphone always. And he's like, I rock the mic like brothers hold their girls tight, but I even after her, you know. I'm trying to censor all the bad stuff. Anyways, I like the part where he's like, I had this style ever since I was a child. I got this other style, I ain't flipping a while. It go pure scientific intelligence with one point of relevance. MCs whose styles need relevance. And when the smoke clears, tell them it's the super Emma F villain. Brother came through raw like the elements. You know what I mean? Such good stuff. And then also, I listened to Black Star from Brooklyn, which is, right, Mos Def, one of the greatest rappers, and Talib Kweli. That song Get By Talib Kweli, awesome, positive song. You know, I like positive hip hop stuff that's about deep stuff, you know. I don't like the newer stuff. You know, I'm a 90s kid, so obviously I don't like newer hip hop that much. Although I do like some of it, and I like Christian rap, that's for sure. I like Eshon Burgundy a lot, you know. He has some really cool songs about Jesus, the song Nothing But the Blood. Of my pardon, this I see. Nothing but the blood, nothing but the blood of Jesus. Right? And in that song, he says something really deep, a lot of deep things. But he says, the law ain't no salvation. The law ain't no salvation issue. It's just gonna keep me pure. Reading, fasting, and praying, that's gonna keep me raw. You know, and then he talks about like how the church ain't a building, you know, that's a religion, you know, like Kanye West is one of my favorite rappers of all time, of course. I got his first album, which is amazing. On that album, he has the song Jesus Walks. This is even before he was like super saved. Then he actually sells out concerts, right, and starts doing this Sunday service thing where he's just doing like gospel songs and rap over it. I mean, genius. Who does this stuff? And he doesn't get the credit he deserves from the Christian community, I feel. And I believe he's saved and gonna be rocking shows in heaven. Yeah, thank you, Jesus. So he has that song, Jesus Walks, which is dope. He has this awesome song called God Is, which is really good, which samples an old, cool gospel song. The lyrics to that song are so good. You guys should listen to that. It's really amazing. I'm not gonna sing every song, but they're better than me anyway. You know, but in the song Jesus Walks, he's like, I'm reading some of this graffiti. It's funny too. You know, that part where he's like, to the strippers, murderers, he goes, to the hustlers, killers, murderers, drug dealers, even the strippers. And then it goes, Jesus walks for them. To the victims of welfare, see, we're living in hell here, hell yeah, Jesus walks for them, you know. Now hear ye want to see me more clearly, or no, see thee more clearly, sorry, not me. Hear ye, I want to see thee more clearly. I know he hear me when my feet get weary, because we, the rappers, almost extinct. We rap as his role models. We rap, we don't think. And he says, I'm not here to argue about his facial features. In other words, whether he's black or white, right? And then later he changed the lyrics. He says, I'm here to convert atheists into believers. Then he says, I'm just trying to say the way that school needs teachers, the way that Kathy Lee needed Regis, that's the way I need Jesus. Yeah, what? Why is he not getting any credit? You know, like what a bar. And he's talking about Jesus. And he goes, so here goes my single, dog. Radio needs this. They said you could rap about anything except for Jesus. And then he goes, but that means sex, guns, lies, videos, tape. But if I talk about God, my record won't get played, huh? Right? And he's like, well, if this takes away from my spins, which will probably take away from my ends, well, I hope it takes away from my sins. And then this part's like the coolest. And he says, and bring the day that I'm dreaming about, the next time I'm in the club, everybody's screaming out, Jesus walks. Then they do the chorus. God, show me the way because the devil's trying to break me down. Jesus, walk with me, with me, with me. So good. And that's just one song, and it was on the first album. What to speak of his other stuff on that the second album, or the gospel album, right? So a lot of rappers are God-fearing, they like God, they talk about spirituality and God in their music. A lot of them were Muslim, right? But even those songs you can learn. Like RZA in Wu-Tang, he used to be my favorite. He has a song where he talks about Allah or God, right? I'm just saying like his conception of God, and the word means the highest, the greatest. And he says, the most benevolent king communicating through your dreams, mental pictures are being painted, Allah or God is heard and seen everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like those, man, I used to listen to that stuff before I was Christian, and that was like God speaking through me. He would speak to me through these lyrics and through these musical songs where he was always there in the music I was listening to, whether it was Christian music when I was in high school. So when I got into high school, I got even more into rap. My freshman year of high school, I went to see, actually it was like the summer before, like our first few days before school, I went to see Wu-Tang Clan with Rage Against the Machine at the Meadowlands in New Jersey, right across the river from New York City, and Atari Teenage Riot, which was a German anarchist, like, electro-punk band. Actually, Atari Teenage Riot's really good. We got this female singer named Hanan Elias, and sick to death like I never been sick before. Good stuff. So, yeah, that was one of the greatest shows of all time. Zach De La Rocha, the singer of Rage Against the Machine, was jumping and he hit his leg and he kind of sprained his ankle and he was gone off the stage for like 20, 30 minutes. The crowd was going nuts. They started rushing the stage, knocking out bouncers, pulling down the barriers and just flooding in, like closer. We were all the way up on the top. My dad said, hey, stay with me if things get bad, like, you better stay right with me if he doesn't come out because it's going to get bad, right? It's going to be like a riot. So I was probably around 14 years old. My awesome dad took me to that great show. He took me to a lot of good shows, including Black Sabbath, the Deftones, and Pantera played together. At the time, Deftones was my favorite band. And that was super cool. Of course, Ozzy was there. So yeah, I like all kinds of music. I mean, honestly, like it's hard to even think of all the stuff I like. Electronic music, everything. So, but we are in the halls of hip hop, so this is a hip hop video. So yeah, and I was thinking, rappers and rap music, they exaggerate a lot and nobody checks them on it, right? But I was realizing that I've heard a rapper who said a line that is actually accurate, and that line is from Nicki Minaj, and she says, in the song with Adriana, right? I've been there all day, been there all day, right? By the way, I love Ariana Grande and pop music, Dua Lipa. Billie Eilish is so good. Camila Cabello, like all these new female singers are so good, and they usually write their music, right? They're singer-songwriters. They're really, really good. So, and Ariana is like one of the best. I learned that from watching her Netflix series. Didn't know she was that good. I did hear the song for the right now I'm in a state of mind. Ain't got no tears left to cry. I always heard that song. Was like, yeah, this song's really good. You're kind of like guilty pleasure. Like, is anybody looking? You're like picking it up, turning it up, and I'm picking it up, picking it up. Lemon and lemon, so we turn it up. You're like, yeah, we turning it up. Yeah. Anybody else grooving in this? And they're like, you're like, it's okay. Like, I don't want to see nobody grooving to like, nobody see me listening to Ariana, but this is God. What the heck? And then I saw her Netflix series. Her live album, or her live show, and the way she connected with with the crowd. It was just like, wow, she's so amazing. I don't know if you guys saw Karol G. She played recently during a football concert in Brazil. I'm so hot right now with this hoodie on. And that was pretty good. I like Karol G, especially that one song. Yeah, that was big. I was, some Mexican people who live near me were playing that song. They're having a block party or whatever, or like a party in their backyard, and I heard that song. I'm like, Shazam! What is this? Like, I like to learn about the music from other people, you know what I'm saying? I've Shazammed cars that are driving by, like, oh! It's like, So, I like punk rock, I like hardcore. I've been in a bunch of bands. I've been in punk bands, I've been in hardcore bands. I was in a Deftones cover band, I was the singer. And, what else? I play drums in bands. You guys know my band, A Few Common Spiderwebs. I've been uploading our old music. Recently, that was me playing guitar and singing, and my friend Ray. We were kind of like emo, I guess. But yeah. So anyway, in that song, Nicki Minaj correctly says, and I think she can be checked on this. She said, and she's like, all these rappers' flows is my mini-me, right? All these rappers' flows is my mini-me. Like, I love that because, first of all, it's a sick line, but also, it's actually true, right? Like, all these girl rappers after Nicki Minaj try to sound like her, you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty accurate. And I love female rappers, of course, right? Lil' Kim, I grew up listening to Lil' Kim, and who else? Lauryn Hill, of course. She's from New Jersey, by the way. She's from South Orange, New Jersey, right by Newark. South Orange, I've been born in school, unaware of what we didn't have. I remember getting that Miseducation of Lauryn Hill album when I was in middle school. I don't know, I was like in 6th grade or something. And it was like an education, like you were learning from the album, you know what I'm saying? Like you were learning a lot, especially as a white kid from the suburbs. Like you don't know about stuff. Oh, look at that. Dude, what? Yo, literally, this is my symbol that I used on my graffiti tag. Yo, they stole it. You know what we do. Big X, right? That's how they used to do it. Like when you cross over somebody's, like, no, like you suck or you stole my tag. Dude, literally, they stole my tag. Y'all stole my tag. But that's, because I got this from a movie. I think the movie's called Akira. Boom, boom, boom. It was from an anime movie. And I had 3 dots on this side, like a triangle. And then I had 3 dots at the beginning of my name, like that. And then actually in my, there's somebody's phone over there. But actually in my Scribble one, I had the mouse like this. And then I had actually just like that. I had an A in the circle, the anarchy sign. And then I also had a star in one of the things. So that's interesting. But like, yeah, it's like, they call it collective unconscious, where your ideas are out there, and once they're out there, they can be taken. And I actually wrote some songs, and then later this rapper Cage came out, and he sampled this movie that I had sampled, the same exact section of the movie, with the same exact effect I used, and put on my album in A Few Common Spiderwebs. I think it's the song Junkyard Dog on my album, which I uploaded on YouTube. And this guy makes it, and he makes all this money off it. Also, we did a song with my band, Greg Strong Experience, and then Jay-Z came out with like the same beat. But I'm pretty sure he's not listening to us, but it's that collective conscious thing. So yeah, guys, when I used to live in Arizona, I used to listen to rap music, and it would bring me home, like it would remind me of home. And I used to listen to this song, Brooklyn, by Mos Def. And man, it brought me home, and I would just remember the city and the streets, because I used to live in Brooklyn. After I graduated college, I moved right to Brooklyn, New York City, in Bay Ridge. And I used to be all over that place, right? I worked in different areas, chilled in different areas, partied, did graffiti, did music, right? Did all kinds of stuff, skateboarding, whatever. And I could literally rap that entire song, you know. Brooklyn, my habitat, the place where it happened at. Loud sway in the sharp balance of the battle axe. Eyes at Brandon's act, thugs drug their hammer back. It's where you find a news tool crew cameras at. It's where my fam is at, the summertime jam is at. They play big and get you open like a sandalback. Hotter than can of wax, hustling, we can't relax. You know? So yeah, and that song, Get by Talib Kweli is so good, it's so positive. Just to get by, just to get by, just to get by. And he's like, you know, this morning I woke up feeling brand new, and I jumped up feeling my highs and my lows and my soul and my goals just to stop smoking, stop drinking, because I've been thinking I got my reasons just to get, you know, it's about getting sober. You know, there's a Wu-Tang song I remember, you know, you can't party your life away, drink your life away, smoke your life away, because your seeds grow up the same way. You know, there was always this positive influence, even though people were struggling with what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? And so those are great rappers, you know, and in college, obviously, I kept listening to rap music and getting deeper and deeper into it, you know. Cannibal Ox is one of my favorite rap groups that pretty much nobody knows about. And the two rappers are Vor Megala and Vast Air. Oh my gosh, Vast Air is the sickest rapper. You know what I'm saying? Also, I used to listen to Mobb Deep. I can obviously rap Shook Ones by heart and Survival of the Fittest. Only the strong survive. You know, so that's great, of course. Yeah, of course, I grew up listening to Eminem also. He's awesome. The first two albums, man, high school, I had both of those memorized. I remember the day when I was at, you know, summer vacation, and I'm with my sisters, and we like quickly did our chores so we could watch MTV and BET, you know, and Eminem comes out. Hi, kids, do you like violence? You know, hi, my name is what? My name is Ticka Slim Shady. And he's like, hi, kids, do you like violence? You want to see me stick 9-inch nails through each one of my eyelids? Uh-huh. Yeah. Want to copy me and do exactly as I did? Try to get messed up as worse as my life is? My brain's dead weight, trying to get my head straight, but I can't figure out which Spice Girl I want to impregnate. And Dr. says, why can't I rap? For some reason when I'm on video, the raps get messed up. And Dr. Dre said, Slim Shady, you a bass head. Why is your face mad? Man, you wasted. Well, since age 12, I felt like it was someone else. Anyway, dude, such genius stuff, you know. Dude, I just saw a movie about Eminem. He is super genius, you know. But back to Cannibal Ox, they're from Harlem, New York. And they're like these two guys, you know, like one of them's like kind of fat, and the other guy's like skinny. They're two black guys from there, and they're like nerds. They're like comic nerds. You know, they like superheroes and stuff. So their stuff is kind of like, they used to call it, what do they call it? Like acid rap or something. And then one of the rappers came out and like dissed them, like, yo, that's man corny acid rap, you know, or I think maybe it was called something else. Like, of course, like the rap battles, you know, the rap beefs, they've been obviously, you know, awesome. Of course, Drake and Kendrick Lamar was super interesting. I didn't get too into it, but I know the culture. I know how it is, the idea of it. But one of the greatest rap beefs of all time, of course, Tupac and Biggie was, unfortunately, didn't end well, you know, although I believe they were probably both assassinated. I don't think it was really the story we got told. A lot of shadiness there, but, and of course, you know, I grew up, like, I was listening to Biggie from the East Coast. I moved to Arizona, and my buddy, he kind of introduced me to Tupac. I didn't know him so well. And of course, Tupac's one of the best, greatest rappers of all time, of course. You know, for me, like the songs Keep Your Head Up, California Love, I love. You know, but he showed me that song, the diss track that Tupac did for Biggie. And I can't even say it on here, you know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, you know, and you guys know the rest if you know the song. West Side till we die, come equipped for fame. Yo, that's so good. Just so good, you know? And sometimes the content isn't good in rap music, of course, which is kind of a bummer. Because, like, you want to listen to the music, you want to bump to it, you know? So that's why I like to listen to Christian music. Christian rap, you know? Christian rock, everything. Because I can listen to it and, you know, because some of the stuff, like, you know, and honestly, some rap music in general is like pornographic and I can't listen to it anymore, right? Like some Biggie songs and like Busta Rhymes songs off that first album, like, Snappily Apple, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't look it up, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and obviously I can't listen to Lil' Kim anymore. Although she was really good, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, her rap in, what was that song? In that song Quiet Storm with Mobb Deep. Right? He's like, it's the real, she's like, yeah, she did the chorus on that, and hot head, oh, here we go again. Line is it's a man, yeah, her jamming that, and also like, oh, I got it going on, whoa, you got it going on, whoa. Yeah, dude, that album was so good with Lil Cease and like all those people. I used to be scared of them. Now I throw lips to the handle it like a real Janet Jackson. Take it. Yes. What? Anyway, that's enough of that. Hey, man.